If you complain that you don't usually have a restful sleep, that is when you wake up in the morning, you feel groggy, you feel sluggish, you feel foggy. It's just as a result of your excessive use of screen, most especially close to bedtime. There's something we call melatonin that our brain actually releases when it's close to bedtime. And it's time for us to rest. This melatonin helps us to wind down and rest after the day of hard work. But you are still telling your brain that it's daytime when you keep glued to your phone during the late hours of the day, close to bedtime. You and I are guilty of this. We use our phone in bed till we fall asleep, and our body doesn't wind down properly because we have melatonin that is meant to be released to tell us that it's time to sleep. But we don't have to release this melatonin properly because we still use our screens close to bedtime, and we're tricking our brain, telling us that, okay, it's still daytime. Because the blue light from your screen is actually similar to what we have in daytime. And then your brain doesn't know it's nighttime already because you still use your phone close to bedtime. And your brain is tricked to saying, okay, it's still daytime. We still have more time during the day. And that is why you stay up late in the night. And when it's time for you to sleep, you don't have a restful sleep. You wake up foggy, you wake up with headache, you wake up with, sleepy eyes, not well rested. It's because we have a body clock that our body works with. That's the circadian rhythm. Our body clock is supposed to regulate the time that we wake and the time that we sleep. But nowadays, we've messed up our body clock. Our body does not even know the time to sleep. It doesn't know the time to wake. That is why you wake up with alarms most time. That is why you can't fall asleep easily, because you have already messed up with your body rhythm. You have messed up with your body clock. You use your phone late at night in bed. We always say that you should stay away from screen 2 to 3 hours close to your bedtime. That is how to have a restful sleep and to have an energetic morning. You can't say you should fall in sleep immediately you are in bed. But if you want to have a restful sleep, 2 hours before your bedtime, stay away from phones, stay away from screens. Don't do anything that is hyper-stimulating, like scrolling on social media. We don't do these things closer to bedtime. These things, if at all, should be done during the early hours of the day. That is when you are done with all you need to do for the day. Then you could do them like 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Once it's bedtime, just stay away from your phone, from anything that has to do with screen or hyperstimulation. For example, you want to sleep by 9. You should be in bed already by 8 p.m. You can't say you want to sleep by 9 and then you go to bed by 9. No. You want to sleep by 9, be in bed by 8 p.m. And by 6 to 7 p.m., you should have stayed away from all things that have to do with screens, with hyperstimulation, content, music, or whatever. Stay away from these things 2 to 3 hours before bed. You want to sleep by 9, be in bed by 8. But by 6, you should have stopped all your scrolling, all your phone use, all your TV watching, everything that has to do with screens should have been done before 7 so that you can be in bed by 8 and then by 9 you gradually fall into sleep. This is how to regulate your body clock. And then the most important part of it is that you are not meant to say you want to sleep for 9 to 10 hours before you say you have slept properly. It's about going to bed at the same time every night. This will give your body clock the time to calibrate itself and set itself well so that you can fall asleep almost at the same time every night and then you wake up almost at the same time every morning. If you try this, you see that you don't even need to trick yourself to fall asleep, or you don't even need to use an alarm in the morning to wake yourself because you are in bed by 8 every night. I don't know what works for you, but for me, I'll be in bed by 8 and then I'm already asleep by 9. Most times I wake up 4 or 5 a.m. It depends on your body clock. All I'm saying is have a regular time where you will be in bed. For example, you want to set your bedtime to 9 p.m. You should be in bed by 8 p.m. You've wind down, you've done everything that has to do with screens, that has to do with phones, with TVs, with computers. Everything should be done by 7. By 8, you should be in bed already, and by 9, you're already falling asleep. Do what works for you, but use this formula to be in bed about an hour before the time that you set specifically for you to be in bed. so that you can always fall asleep at around the same time every night and then wake up at around the same time the next morning. This will reset your body clock so that when it's time for you, that is the time you have set to fall asleep, you will feel sleepy already. Your body will start to wind down naturally by itself. That is, your body clock is already well calibrated. Then you can fall asleep at the normal time every night and wake up every morning at around the same time. The bottom line is stay away from screens or things that stimulate your eyes to trick you that you are still in daytime, because your body needs to know that it's nighttime so that your body clock can now reset itself and start making you fall asleep towards the nighttime. All you need to do, stay away from screens about 2 hours before bed. Be in bed 1 hour before the time you set for your sleep time, and then your body clock will calibrate. You might not even need 9 hours of sleep. You might just need good quality sleep by falling asleep at the same time every night and waking up around the same time every morning without an alarm. That is how a primal human being behaves. A primal human being doesn't scroll till 10 or 11 p.m. before falling asleep because he will wake up foggy and groggy. A primal human being stays away from screens about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime and is in bed about 1 hour before the bedtime is set for himself. So he can wake up like a primal human being the next morning with full energy and without feeling foggy or groggy. If you watch the video this far, then it means this message resonates with you. So you are meant to be here. Welcome to the tribe.